Hello and welcome to DBMS. I'm Parinda Prajapati, and in today's video lecture, we are going to cover some other commands used in SQL. So let's start with two important commands, which are group by and having. So how to use these commands? For that, let me show you first table. So here we have table, students, and for students we have four different columns like SID, marks, country, and subject ID. Suppose I want my table, like I want the count of SID with group by country. That means suppose I want to find out that how many students are from India and how many students are from Japan or how many students are from US. So I want count of SID as per country. So for that, what you have to write is select, then count, on which attribute you want to use the count. Then here is the SID, then from students, and then you have to use group by, and I want group by country. So I will write the country here and enter. So what I can get is count of SID 1111. Why? Because as we can see in the table that we have four different countries, and for the each and every country we have single students only. So my count will be 1111. Suppose I have two students for India, then my count will be 2111. Now, if I want to use having, so how to use having? Suppose I want to use same query with using, and if I know now I want to use having, then suppose that I want output of those count whose count is greater than 2. So here select count of SID from students, group by country, having count of SID greater than 2. So now it will show me the message no rows selected. Why? Because right now we don't have any count more than 1. So if I'm saying that I want the SID for count of SID for those students only whose count is greater than 2, then in this case like for our table there is no row which we have count greater than 2. This was all about group by and having. Then suppose I want to create a table from existing table. Suppose we have existing table here, which is students. This is my existing table, and using this table I want to create another table. Suppose I want to make table as marks, where I want student ID and marks from this students table. How I can create one table from the existing table? So for that you have to write create table, your new table name, which is as marks here, then as. Now you have to write query of select, where you want how many column you want in your new table. So suppose I want SID and marks from students. So table is created. So let's check this table description of S marks. So here we have same two column SID and marks. But right now if we check the records, like select star from S marks, then same records will be also there. So it automatically create the table from the existing table, and whatever the column we want in our new table, we can directly copy those column from the existing table. So this how we can create table from another table. Suppose you want to insert data from the same existing table, then also you can write insert into, then S marks, then select SID marks from students, and it will say 4 rows created. So automatic it will add all those 4 records into the existing into the new table we have created, which is S marks. So this is how we can insert record from the existing table. Now next concept is index. So in SQL we can use the index. Now why we use index? So the advantage to use index is to speed up your particular column or particular value. So whenever you want to boost the speed of a particular column, like suppose in student, suppose let me select here student table. So here we have SID, marks, country, and subject ID. So suppose from this 4 column, I wanted to access SID very quickly. So whenever you want to boost up the speed of particular column, then you can create an index. So how to create index? So for that, create index. Then you have to give the name of index. So suppose I want to give my index I1. Then on which table? So on students. And then on which column that you have to specify. So my column is SID. It will show you the message index is created. and all you can say is just this message only. So you want to see the output of this. So whenever you access this particular column, then you need to find out the process time, process of query time. So this is how you can check that your index works or not. So by creating index, we can speed up the particular column. Suppose you want to drop the index, then drop index, then I1. This is how you can remove the index. So this was all about index. This is how you can apply index in SQL. Now next concept is view. What is view? So view is virtual table. Whenever you want to give virtual table to your particular selected query, suppose like in student table. So here we have students, and in this particular table I want the records of those students who lives in India, and for that I want to make one virtual table name with India. So for that you can create view here. So how to create view? So for that you have to write, just like index, we have to write create view, then view name, whatever the view name you want to give. Suppose I want to give the name of India, then create view India, then you have to write s. And now whatever the query you want to perform, suppose I want my output like select SID and marks from students. So it will select SID and marks from student, but I want SID and marks of those students who lives in India. So I need to mention the conditions. So where country is equals to India, semicolon, enter. So view is created. So now this view is a virtual table, so we can access same as like table. So I will select star from, and now I can mention the view name, which is India. So select star from India, and it will give me the record of student ID 1 who is living in India. As we can see in our table that one is one's country is India. So it will give me the one record only because we have only one record for India. This is how you can create view. Suppose you want to drop the view or you want to remove this view, and also you can drop it by drop view and then view name. So my view name is India. So this is how view can be dropped. So this is all about the view, as you can make any view for your selected query. So let me clear screen here. So our next topic in SQL is subqueries. So how to use subqueries? So for that, let me show you the table customer. So select star from customers. So here I have made one table customers where there is ID of customer, name of customer, address of customer, and salary of customer. So now what is this subquery? Whenever you want to use query within query, like we can say the nested query. So whenever you apply one query within another query, then it is known as a subquery. So suppose here I want, like here I have table customers. So suppose I want those customers whose ID, like I want those customers ID whose salary is more than 25,000. Then with using subqueries, how I can write? So I will write select star from customers, as I want all details of customers. So select star from customers. Now where ID, then I will use in. What is this in? We have already discussed in previous video lectures. So in now for the subquery, I will use the query within query. So I will use another query like select ID from customers where salary greater than 25,000, and I will end the bracket, enter. So now it will give me the output of ID 3 and 4, as only 3 and 4 have salary more than 25,000. So this how you can use a subquery. Like here I am using this select query, select ID from customers where salary is greater than 25,000. So it will give me the ID of those customers whose salary is more than 25,000. And then on this particular output, I will apply the select star from customers where ID in. So whatever the ID are already in this particular falls into this bracket query, like select ID from customers where salary greater than 25,000, only those records will be appear here. So this is how you can use subquery or query within query. Suppose now using subquery, I want to create another table from the customer table. So already we have seen that how to create one table from the existing table. So here I'm creating create table. Suppose I'm giving customers 1 1. This is my new table. as I want all the columns same as customers table. So what I will do, select star from customers. So now my table is created. Suppose I want to apply sub query to insert the record in this particular table, then how I can do is insert into then my new table, which is customers 11. Now, suppose I want to select all record from the customers table, then I will write select star from customers where ID in, and then in bracket select ID from customers. 4 rows created. Now next thing in SQL is to how to use date type. So suppose you want to create table where there is one column where the type of your data is in date or time format, and how this particular date type work. So here I'm making one table, like suppose create table. Let me first drop table. So my one table is placed there. So drop table place. So my table is drop, and second table is places. So let me drop that table also. Now create again. So create table, and there I want to give name place, where my first column is name, the name of the place. So I will give the varchar type that the size is 10, and then my next column name is day. I want to mention the date, or like the date I have visited a particular place, and then enter. So my table is created. Suppose you will check the description of this table. So description of place, enter, and then my day has type date. So how to insert record in this particular date type, and insert into my table name is values, and now in bracket name, like suppose I have visited Ahmedabad, so I will write Ahmedabad, and then now to mention the date you have to write date, and then in single quote you have to mention the date in YYYY format. So suppose 2001 dash 01 dash 02, and so this how you can insert the record. If you are just typing the YYYMMMDD, suppose let me try this only with removing this date, then you will get an error. So this how you can use the date command. Suppose you want timestamp command or timestamp type of data, then let me show you another table. Suppose I'm creating table places, where I'm mentioning just let me take one column only, where one is time, and then type of this time column is timestamp, and then okay. So I have written timestamp, like wrong spelling. I written TIMM, so instead of the TIM is temp, and table is created. So now let me enter the data in this timestamp. So I will write here insert into the table name, which is places, and then values. And again, as I am using the timestamp, so for that I need to mention the same type here, timestamp. And the format of timestamp is, first you need to mention the year, like 2001 on the month of 3, and the date is 4, and time is suppose 02. So HH SS format will be there. The 2 hours, suppose 15 minutes and 22 seconds. So this how my record will be there. One row is created. Suppose I'm firing query, select start from, this is enter. So here my data is there as per this format. So this how you can use date type of date type of column, and timestamp type of column whenever you want the date as well as time there. So then you can use this kind of format. Suppose you want year only, then you can use the data type year also, where the format of year is YYYY or YY. And suppose you want the date time, then also the format is the same like timestamp. So this how you can use the date and time format in SQL. So in this video lecture, we have covered the different commands and queries used in SQL, like how to use group by, then how to use having, then what is view, then we discussed the index, then how to use sub queries, and how to create table from the existing table, or how to insert record from the existing table, and lastly the date and timestamp command. That's it about this video, and we'll see you in the next video lecture. Thank you.